This is Riley Smith with MakeGood Creative Network, and I think I'm slightly lopsided. I mean, I'm just slightly lopsided as a person, but okay. Hello, this is Riley Smith with MakeGood Creative Network. I want to talk to you today about something that is extremely important but often overlooked as part of our creative journey, and that is our support network. Making sure that we are surrounded by people who understand and inspire us to make stuff. You probably have a lot of wonderful, wonderful people around you. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything bad about them. But if you don't have other creators around you, then people are just not going to completely understand this crazy, wonderful journey of making stuff that you are on. They might accidentally say things like, if it doesn't pay well, why don't you just stop doing it? Or, that sounds really hard. Why? Why do that to yourself? Or another thing that sometimes people say, if they are not other creators, is the ever wonderful, so when are you going to be utterly successful, or why are you not utterly successful yet? So when is it gonna be in stores? Or when are you gonna show in a gallery? Or things like that. And it's that takes years and years of a lot of effort. So other creative people will understand that part of your journey and be able to commiserate, offer advice, and keep you inspired. Plus, creators are just cool. They're just the coolest people ever. So I tend to pride myself on being quite good at finding creative friends. I have a large support network of actors, comedians, models, writers, stand-ups. I already said comedians, a lot of comedians of varying types, musicians. I really love being surrounded by creative people, so I'm going to share with you how to make more creative friends. Plus, this can be pretty hard when you are an adult and your parents aren't shoving you into after-school clubs anymore or forcing you to hang out with their friends' kids. It can be hard to make friends as an adult, so here are some ways to find wonderful creative people and add them to your life. I'm going to start with ways to find people on the interwebs. The internet is a great way to find and connect with other creative people, especially if you live in an area where maybe it's a little harder to find this community. The internet is great. You can find all sorts of wonderful people that you never would have been able to connect with without it. So use it wisely, of course, but here are some wonderful places to find creative people online. First place I definitely recommend that you start is by following and getting involved with My Creative Break. This is run by two wonderful ladies. They are life coaches, marketers, and creators and improvisers. I do love me some improvisers. So they're fantastic people, Linda and Kim, and they're delightful to know, and they organize lots of really cool virtual events and summits and workshops where you can unleash your creativity but also meet a lot of other really cool people. They do have in-person events as well, so make sure you follow them on Instagram. I will put the link in the description below, but if I forget to do that, you can find them by just searching My Creative Break. Start there. They're awesome. The next place to look is to join a Facebook group. Most of Facebook is awful. It's really, really terrible. But some of them are really encouraging, full of cool people doing cool things. So find a Facebook group. I'll give you some search terms to get started. If you are interested in improv or comedy or just meeting cool, energetic people, search for your city and then improvisers. There is probably a Facebook group for improvisers in your city. And that'll be full of a bunch of cool people and will tie in nicely with one of the later recommendations that I will give in this video. Another thing to search is Let's Make Art. These are a bunch of really cool groups that use watercolor and other means. I'm in the watercolor group. I don't even do watercolor. I just like seeing other people's cool art. So I'm in this group just to be like, holy crap, you made an amazing bird painting. Like, that's really fun. So people are really nice on there. Everybody's really encouraging, and people offer tutorials and advice and feedback. So that's a really cool place to meet creative people and keep your creative well filling. Another thing is to just like take whatever your biggest passion is and to put that into the Facebook group search bar. There might be groups that pop up that are kind of spammy or just for self-promotion, and like, being for self-promotion is not a bad thing in itself, but if people are not actually interacting, that's not as fun. But just search for whatever it is, the thing that you do. I'm on a lot of writer pages, which is fun. So just search whatever your passion is, put that in the old Facebook search bar and find some groups and start talking to other cool creative people. The next thing to do to make cool creative friends online is to take a virtual class. Specifically a class that is either on Zoom or has some kind of chat function. You don't want to sign up for a class and you're like just watching videos of the teacher and there's no chance to interact with anybody else in the class. That's not going to make you friends. You might learn a lot, so that's cool, but that's not going to help you make friends with the other people in the class. So before you sign up, ask the teacher or the organization, whoever is putting it on, like, is there a chat function? Are we going to be on Zoom? Like, will I have a chance to like get to know other people in the class even though it is online? You can still effectively get to know people through these virtual classes. It just might take, just check that is a capability for whatever type of class that you're taking. Next, we're going to talk about how you make friends, creative friends in particular, IRL. How do you do it in real life? This is often the most hardest of all for adults, because it's like, where do I go? Where do I go to do this? First place I recommend that you go to do this is Meetup. This is a really cool app. I recommend it a lot to people. It really helped me when I moved to find other creative people and start making friends. I found a writers group on there. Basically just go on Meetup and whatever your interest is, again, whatever your passion is, just put it into ye old search bar and look for groups in your area who are meeting up to talk about screenwriting or paint stuff in the park or do meditations to unleash creativity, whatever your interest is or whatever you think you might want to try. Put that out there. Like I said, I joined a couple of writers groups and then ended up sticking with a writers group that I am still hanging out with. Met a couple really cool people and they helped me finish my debut self-published novel, Cardinal. So I really recommend that go ahead and download the app. It's free to do if you're not like running a group. I think the people who run groups have to pay. So some of the groups might ask you to donate towards that. All the groups I joined were free. So I got to benefit without having to pay anything, which is my favorite thing. But take a look at Meetup. It's Meetup, all one word. I feel like I say this in every video, but the next tip is, you guessed it, take an improv class. Just do it if you haven't done it yet. If you're like, oh no, I could never be funny. It's not about being funny. It's about playing pretend and getting silly and making mistakes. And everyone can play pretend and make mistakes, especially making mistakes. Everyone is very good at that. And that's what you need for improv. You don't even have to be like a funny person to do well at improv. You just need to go up there and make some mistakes. So go join, even if you only take one class and you're like, that was horrible, I'm never doing it again. You will meet somebody in that class that you like. A lot of my friends are people who I met in improv classes because they're often the funnest people, and it's really easy to tell whose energy you vibe with. It's really simple to tell after you've been on stage or seen people do improv who you kind of want to get to know more. My kind of mini suggestion with this tip and with taking in-person classes in general is be proactive about getting people to hang out outside of class. Be that person. I know it's scary, but put yourself out there. I've always felt like I got a lot out of doing this. Just email everybody and be like, this Friday after class, we are going to get a coffee, or we are going to get a beer, or we are going to get ice cream, whatever your preference. But be that person who says, we are going, who's available, and keep doing it, because people, especially improvisers, are a little flaky. So keep doing it until you get people to hang out outside of the class. It'll make it easier to improvise with them in class, and also you will make friends faster that way. Not really sure if there are any good improv schools in your area. Send me an email at support@makegoodcreativenetwork.com, and I will help you find a really good improv school in your area. I can check it out and help you find some place that looks legit and like it would be a lot of fun. My last recommendation for making creative friends in real life is to do some dweeb shit. A lot of times creative people have big imaginations and obsessions with things, and so there's a lot of overlap with dweebs. So these are things like joining a D&D group. Find people you know who play D&D. You can probably just post on Facebook anybody doing a tabletop role play looking for members, and somebody you know probably is. You know, you can find people online too. There are forums and websites you can go to where people are looking for players, although of course be careful meeting strangers, but I guess that is the point of this, is to make new friends. So yep, gotta try it. Joining a D&D group or other tabletop role play, really fun way to get to know creative people. Going to a trivia night or quiz night at your local bar, that's like a little more normie, a little less dweeby, but that's another fun way to maybe meet people who are into similar things as you. You know, you can see like, okay, who is answering all of the golden age of animation trivia? Those are the people I want to hang out with. That would be for me. That would be my thing. But you know, something like that can be really fun. Look for that in your area. And if you have like a Comic-Con or a Ren Fair or something going on in your area, get decked out, dress up, and go. You will meet cool people at these events who are also very creative and a little weird. And those are the best kind of people. So go ahead and head out to any Comic-Con or Renaissance festival in your area. Those are my top suggestions for making creative friends. If I had to tell you exactly where to start, I would say the number one first thing to do is to go check out My Creative Break on Instagram. They're on all the social medias, but their Instagram, I think, is the funnest because they do a lot of really cool photos and videos and things. So My Creative Break. And the second thing that I would say to do, even do simultaneously with that one, go take an improv class. Do it. Take an improv class. Do it. They're just really fun, and you're gonna meet cool people and have a good time. So that's a place to start. If you feel like you need even more help making your ideal creative life, getting maximum creativity, we have a guide for you. It's called the 21 Creativity Killers and How to Beat Them. This guide will walk you through exactly what it is that's holding you back creatively, and even better, tell you a quick 1, 2, 3 action plan of how to beat it. So make sure you go to the link in the description below and you get that guide for free. It's for absolutely free, so go grab it. Make sure you like and subscribe, like the video so that, you know, if you need more friends later, you can return to it. And make sure you subscribe because this is all we do on this channel. We do creative inspiration and advice, so check out some of our other videos. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future vids. But most importantly, let's go make some friends. Woo!